Okie dokie. Here's a video on how to do tonight's homework, lesson 16. It says complete the subtraction sentences by using either the count on or the take from 10 strategy, and then they have to check which one they used. So I'm going to do, excuse me, number 2, and I'm just going to show both strategies. So the count on strategy would be for them to take the part, because 12 is the whole, that's how many altogether. They would take the part, which is 9, circle it, and then they would draw enough dots to get to 12. So they would say 9, and then it would go 10, 11, 12. And then how many dots did they draw? 3. So then 12 minus 9 is 3. That's the count on strategy. Excuse me. So let me write over here, count on. And then the take from 10 strategy is going to be 12 minus 9, and then the unknown number. So what they're going to do is they're going to make a number bond with the 12. One part is always going to be 10, and then the other part is 2, because 10 and 2 is 12. So the way that I taught them is that if they're looking at the number bond with the 10 first, they have 10 fingers on their hand. They're going to imagine that they have a number 2 in their brain. The problem says to take away 9. So they're going to take away 9 from that 10 on their hands. So I don't have both hands up, but if I had both hands up and I took away 9, I would have 1 on one hand, and then I would have that 2 still in my brain that came from here, and then I would add them together. So the 1 that's left on the hand, that started off being 10 when you took away the 9, and then the 2 in the brain, when you add them together, it makes 3. So then they can pick which strategy did they use. They can use one of these strategies. So if they use the count on, then you would put a check mark on count on. If they wanted to do the take from 10 strategy, then they would put a check mark with take from 10. I have no problem with them doing the count on for every problem or the take from 10 for every problem. Doesn't bother me. The one at the bottom, it says Nicholas collected 14 leaves. He pasted 9 into his notebook. How many of his leaves were not pasted into his notebook? You're going to choose the count on or take from 10 strategy to solve. So the number sentence is 14 minus 9. And then they're going to either do the count on, where they take one of the part and then they make the dots until they get to 14. Or they're going to do the take from 10, where they have 10 fingers. They have 2 in their brain. They take 9 away from the 10, leaving them with 1 more finger. And then however other amount of the other number bond part is, they're going to add them together to get the answer. Okay, so that's the first page. The second page is the same thing. So number 6 and number 7 both have it to where you take away 9 from the whole number, and then they choose what strategy they used. And then they also have to talk about how many Paul has left and how many Lisa has left. So they have to actually put the number here, and they have to solve both. So it says that Paul has 12 and Lisa has 18. They each rolled 9 down a hill. So what I would do is I would label P for Paul, and then I would do an L for Lisa, and I would work out Paul's side, and then I would work out Lisa's side. So basically it would be, since Paul has 12, it would be 12 minus 9. And then since Lisa has 18, it would be 18 minus 9. And then they pick a strategy. Either they count on or they take from 10. And then they write the answer here on the lines. Down here at the bottom, it says, just as you did today in class, think about how to solve the following problems and talk to your parent or your caregiver about your ideas. So they're going to solve these problems. Either they're going to do the count on, where they take the 9 and then they count until they get to 15. So they'll say 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then how many dots did they draw? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or they can do the count on, the take from 10 strategy, where they have 10 as a part and then 9 as the other one, because 10 plus 9 is 19. And then they imagine in their brain that they have 9 fingers and then 10 on their real fingers. With the 10 fingers, they take away 9, leaving 1 finger. And so they add the 9 that's in their brain and the 1 that's on their finger together, and it gives them 10. Okay. It says at the bottom, circle the problems you think are easier to solve by counting on from 9. So the ones that were easier by just counting on, meaning the ones that you didn't have to draw a whole lot of circles for, you would go ahead and circle them. Put a rectangle around those that are easier to solve using the take from 10 strategy. So put a rectangle around the ones that you thought would be easier if you just did the number bond, and imagine that you took away, imagine that you had one part in your brain and the other one's on your finger. If they liked that method and it was easier for them to do that method, then they would put a rectangle around those problems. So for this problem, I would circle it because it was easier for me, in my opinion, to do the count on. And then over here, I would put a rectangle around this one because I thought it was easier for me to do the take from 10 strategy. If you have any more questions, please give me a text. Thank you.